Hey everybody, this is Zach Westy of West Zone Entertainment.
So I got a new microphone, and unfortunately, it's given me quite a bit of problems. So as I slowly try to teach myself the joys of audio engineering, I figured I'd play through a Pokemon game. But I'm a grown man, and Pokemon is a kid's game for little sissies. At least that's what my 6th grade cousins tell me. I don't know why they insist on being so mean to me. So I figured I'd give myself a challenge for this playthrough and limit the amount of Pokemon that I could use.
So I was perusing through YouTube as a man who was born in the early 90s with no career aspiration does, when I came across a video made by Markiplier where he decided whether to smash or pass on every known Pokemon as of Generation 8.
This better not awaken anything in me.
I thought to myself, say, wouldn't it be interesting to do a run through of a Pokemon game where the only Pokemon I can use are the ones Markiplier said that he would smash? So that's what I did. Introducing the Pokemon Markiplier Smash Challenge. The only rule is that you can only use Pokemon that Markiplier would smash, which are these 73 Pokemon. Now, I personally added the caveat that if Markiplier chose to smash an evolved Pokemon, any Pokemon that that Pokemon evolved from can be used. However, if Markiplier chose to smash a non-evolved Pokemon but pass on its evolution, you can only use the evolution line up to what Markiplier chose to smash.
So I decided to attempt this challenge in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for 4 reasons. Reason number 1, I've been playing this game series since it came out in North America and I wanted to start with Kanto. Reason number 2, the only legitimate way that I can capture Pokemon game footage at the time being is with Switch titles. Reason number 3, I may want a challenge, but I also don't want to be kicked in the balls for my first attempt at this sort of thing. Reason number 4, there are a shocking amount of Pokemon that Markiplier would smash that are version exclusive in this game. But so that this remains a challenge, I will only allow myself to capture 5 Pokemon of any evolutionary line so that I don't get over-leveled and I will not be able to use candies at any point in this run. Also, I'm not going to use the support trainer for obvious reasons. I'm also going to consider the whole run a bust if I wipe at any point.
Sounds good? Makes sense? Good. Let's play Pokemon.
So we begin our magical journey by going on an errand run for Professor Oak with our good friend Trace, but Trace is too boring of a name, so I named him Markiplier instead. Seems fitting for a rival name. I'm coming for that sub-count, buddy, just you wait. Anyways, as we head out to start our challenge, Professor Oak gives us an Eevee. Unfortunately for us, Markiplier didn't choose to smash Eevee or any of its evolutions, so we will be unable to use it for this challenge. As we make our way to Viridian City, we can pick up our first team member, which is a Bellsprout, as Markiplier would smash a Weepinbell. Really, Markiplier? You skipped over Vaporeon, but you went for those lips? Westy, it's pretty cursed to mention Vaporeon. I'm from the old internet. You can't fathom how cursed I am. Anyways, I catch a Bellsprout and name it Zuckerberg. I don't remember why. After grabbing Oak's parcel and beating our rival in our first battle with Zuckerberg, Vine Whip, sucker! We head to the Viridian Forest. I'm able to catch our second team member, who is Weedle, as Markiplier chose to smash Beedrill. Look, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it would probably hurt. There's no way that this video is getting monetized. We're going to have to hope we get a good Weedle, as I'm hoping to use Kakunas to raise its level quickly. And it's not. Anyways, I decided to name the Weedle Big B as...
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
But I can't use Dick because this is a family-friendly channel. Anyways, back to our What Pokemon Would Markiplier Smash challenge, it's time to take on the second rival fight, which once again, we can thankfully rely on the Vine Whip, sucker! Anyways, Big B gains enough experience to evolve into Kakuna, where he learns how to harden, a skill he'll need for when he's Big B. As we make our way through Viridian Forest, we'll eventually make our way to Pewter City, where we can battle the gym leader Brock. Whoa, Westy, you're going way too fast. Slow down and give us more details. Who do you think I am? Some kind of person who stupidly explains video games or something? I'm just here for the challenge. For those of you that want a more in-depth story analysis that is, let's just say, stupidly done, don't worry, I'll cover these games eventually. So you should subscribe to know when that day comes. Anyways, Brock taunts me, saying, "Fwahaha, you're going to challenge me even knowing that you'll lose?" Dude, I'm going to Brock you up. So Brock throws out a Geodude, who I use to power up Bellsprout. And then I'm able to sweep Brock's whole team with the patented Vine Whip, sucker! Thankfully, my strategy works out, and we're able to secure the Boulder Badge, and more importantly, the Headbutt TM, which we will abuse the crap out of and put on every Pokemon that we can. As we head on over to Mount Moon, we're able to grab our next teammate, Ekans, as Markiplier's into that little snake called Arbok, which is great because even though I'm not showing the non-major battles, one of the things you learn in challenges like this is fear the weirdest Pokemon. I swear my heart should not stop every time I see a Pidgey, but these birds are terrifying for my little Zuckerberg and Big B. Anyways, I decide to name the Ekans we just caught Charbaka, after my least favorite member of the Team Rocket anime team. Speaking of Team Rocket, they're in this game for whatever reason, and they're doing something shady at Mount Moon. But a combination of Charbaka and Zuckerberg headbutting their little hearts out win us the day. Also, Big B finally evolves into Beedrill at some point in Mount Moon, but I forgot to give him a headbutt for an embarrassing amount of time, so he didn't participate in the battle. In Cerulean City, our rival runs at us in a panic, and Markiplier decides that this seems like an opportune time to have a battle. But thankfully, the fully evolved Big B is able to put him in his place. Markiplier calms down and says the reason he freaked out is because he saw a Pokémon talk. Ah yes, how horrifying. I could never imagine such a thing.
I hate water, especially wet water.
So I go and investigate the talking Pokemon, nearly completely wiping to a trainer with a single Pidgeotto. I'm telling you, man, these birds are scary. And in our investigation, we find a Nidorino who turns out to be Bill Gates. We separate him from the Nidorino, and in thanks for saving him from his living nightmare, he gives us tickets to go on a cruise. But we don't have time for a cruise because we have to fight the next member of Ash's posse, Misty, who utilizes an all-out offense using water types. I feel like there are better types for an all-out offensive battle style. But Misty makes me eat those words as her Psyduck knows confusion and every single one of my Pokemon are weak to Psychic. I don't know about you, but I refuse to lose to a Psyduck. Zuckerberg used the good old tried and true Von Whip, sucker! Next up, Misty uses her Starmie, who I plan on taking down with a Von Whip, sucker! But it fails to knock it out. And then it burns me with Scald. Crap, looks like I'm going to have to start actually using strategy. And by strategy, I mean my entire inventory of potions. So after snatching victory in a totally legitimate way that I know no one in the comments will get mad about, we have just rightfully earned the Cascade badge. Anyways, as we move on to the next town, we catch the next member of our team, Vulpix, as Markiplier wants to smashy smash those luxurious Ninetales. So when I caught Vulpix, knowing that it evolves into Ninetales, only one name seemed appropriate to me. Goku. Who is my favorite character from that ninja anime, One Piece. I can hear the weeaboo screams from my nuclear bunker, and they shall nourish me until Y2K is finally over. Anyways, as we head towards Vermilion City, we get a really chance encounter as a Chansey shows up. Now, I don't know if you would know this or not, but Markiplier would smash Blissey, and Blissey is the evolution of Chansey, which means that we can use Chansey in this challenge. So I attempt to catch Chansey, and boy does Chansey not want to be caught. I wound up having to use an ungodly amount of Pokeballs to capture this thing, so in response I decided to call it Pain, because of how much of a pain it was to capture. But dang, does it give a massive amount of experience. Anyways, as we arrive at Vermilion City, we can take a slight detour into Diglett Cave to catch our next team member, Diglett, as Markiplier would smash both Diglett and Dugtrio. Mark's kind of freaky, isn't he? Which is great for us, as Diglett is really going to come in handy for the next gym battle, and also increase our team member count to 6. So I decided to call the Diglett Trio based on a moment from the anime that will never get out of my brain. Also, the capture of Trio gave Zuckerberg enough experience to evolve into Weeping Bell, which will unfortunately be Zuckerberg's final evolution as Markiplier would not smash Victory Bell. Couldn't imagine why. Anyways, while in Vermilion, we can use that cruise ticket that Bill gave us to board the SS Anne. When we attempt to go talk to the captain, because what else are you going to do on a boat, Markiplier interrupts us and demands another battle. He throws out a Pidgeotto, and whoa, what a jerk, using a Pokemon that's been giving me trouble all playthrough long. And it continues to do so by immediately knocking out Charbaka. But thankfully Pain comes in and whittles down its health a bit, letting Goku come in to finish it off. It's probably not a good sign that it takes half my team to take out a bird, but hey, that is one scary burb, man. Why is it written in my script as burb? And then Goku is also able to easily defeat Markiplier's Oddish with Trio, finishing off his Pikachu. I'm certain he'll be able to wipe out Lieutenant Surge. Either way, we go see the captain, who is seasick. We decide to give the strange man a back massage, and as a thank you, he teaches us to chop down trees. What just happened? Well, no time to contemplate that, as it's time for the battle with Lieutenant Surge. Which Trio should easily be able to sweep this entire team. Watch as its dig knocks out this Voltorb. Well, that's not good. Save me, Big B. Big B is able to knock out the Voltorb, but I decide to switch to Goku to beat the Magnemite, but then Goku fails us, leading to Charbaka having to come in and save the day.
Those words, is it possible to use them in a sentence together like that?
As Lieutenant Surge pulls out his ace Raichu, I decide to answer with my answer to everything that's gone wrong in my life, Zuckerberg. Who, thankfully, with a combination of growths and super potions, he's able to take down Raichu with an Evolved Vine Whip, sucker! Which gets us the Thunder Badge and Lieutenant Surge's autograph. Okay. Charbaka evolved into Arbok, and we make our way through Rock Cave after some scientists teach us how to glow in the dark. Don't ask. We arrive at Lavender Town, which is where all the dead Pokémon are buried. This was a kid's game in the 90s. We run into Markiplier again as he's looking for a runaway Cubone, and what do you know? He decides it's time for a Pokemon battle. Which now was really the time for him, as his Pidgeotto was able to mess up Pain, but we were able to bring him down with Charbaka this time. But then Markiplier sends out his own Raichu, who easily takes down Trio and Goku. But thankfully, Zuckerberg is able to take him out with Razor Leaf. Sorry, I had to get rid of Vine Whip, besides fairly certain that joke has gotten tired at this point. And then Big B is able to finish off Gloom. As much as I'd like to keep exploring this graveyard, it's filled to the brim with spooky ghosts, so we better skedaddle on out of here and head to Celadon City. Sorry to disappoint you, Cubone, we'll finish your story later. While we're in Celadon, we can find this kid who wants Cantonian Vulpixes and trade for an Alolan Vulpix. I mean, there's nothing specifically in the rules against using variants, so I decided to trade Goku to give him an Alolan upgrade. So this is Goku now. I can't rename him, but it's Goku. It's Ultra Instinct Goku, deal with it. Might as well try out the new Pokemon in the next gym, which according to this fella is full of strong trainers. Yep, that's definitely what you said in the original Japanese. Anyways, as Goku tears through the gym trainers, we eventually arrive at Erika, who literally falls asleep before our battle. Needless to say, Goku is able to completely dominate this battle, including a cheeky freeze on the Vileplume. And as a reward, I evolved Goku into Ninetales. Also, Trio evolved, because why not? Hey, does anybody notice that there are a bunch of Team Rocket grunts around? We should probably investigate that.